Hello, sports fans, and welcome to Scott Sports 101 AFC NFC Wildcard Sunday. We got two great matchups, and we'll get to all that in just a sec. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 AFC NFC Wildcard Trivia question. Which of these players set a Chargers team record in 1981 with 5 receiving touchdowns in a single game? Charlie Joyner, Wes Chandler, John Jefferson, or Kellen Winslow? I'll have the answer later on the broadcast. It's AFC NFC Wildcard Sunday, and the LA Chargers and the Baltimore Ravens are battling it out right now at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. And the Chargers are right now are hammering the Ravens with a 13-point lead right now. It is 23-10 in the fourth quarter with 2:33 remaining, but they were up 20-3 just a little while ago in the fourth quarter with 9:14 remaining, and then the Chargers had kicked a field goal. Michael Badgley was from 47 yards out, and it was 23-3 in the fourth with 7:02 remaining. Then the Ravens are 2-point favorites to win this game today, but things have just not gone the Ravens' way in this game at all. And then the Ravens scored a touchdown, and they now trail the Chargers 23-10 in the fourth with 2:33 remaining. So this is starting to wind down. It's in the late stage of the game, and I'll let you know on the post-game show. We'll call this an NFL AFC Wildcard update. We'll just call it. That's what it'll be. And meanwhile, in the NFC Wildcard game today, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Chicago Bears will square off at Soldier Field in Chicago, Illinois. Now the Bears are 6-point favorites to win this game today, but I feel the Eagles are going to have the edge in this game. A lot of fans are saying the Bears are going to stun the Eagles, and others say that the Eagles are going to nearly stun the Bears. But I feel the Eagles are going to win this game and move on in the playoffs. And Nick Foles will get the start for the Eagles at quarterback, and Mitch Trubisky will get the start for the Bears at quarterback today. And kickoff for that is at 4:40 on NBC. I want to recap the games from yesterday, from last night, beginning with the AFC one. What I will do with the AFC one, excuse me if I can ever. And beginning with the AFC one, I do apologize for a little silence there for that delay. And it was a pretty much one-sided game as yesterday's AFC wildcard game, as the Indianapolis Colts beat the Houston Texans 21-7 at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. The Colts scored 2 touchdowns in the first quarter and were up 14-0. Eric Ebron scored the first one for 6 yards, and Marlon Mack scored the second one for 2 yards. Houston had the ball at their own 25, and Deshaun Watson's pass short right to Kiki Corte to the Indy 45 for 6 yards. Then Deshaun Watson pass to short middle intended for Ryan Griffin, got intercepted by the Colts cornerback Kenny Moore II at the Colts 45 yard line. Moore got to the 50 for 10 yards, and the Colts had the ball at the 50-yard line. Andrew Luck's pass to short left, Eric Ebron for 5 yards at the Houston 17, and it was first and 10 at the Texans 17-yard line. Andrew Luck's pass to short left for Marlon Mack was intercepted by the Texans, nose tackle Brandon Dunn, and Dunn got to the Texans Texans 41 for no gain, and the Colts were up 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. In the second, the Colts scored their second touchdown of the game thanks to Andrew Luck's pass to deep left to Dontrell Inman, who took the ball 18 yards to the end zone for the score, and the Colts were up 21-0. Deshaun Watson got sacked at the Indy 22 for -9 yards. Then Deshaun Watson's pass to short left to Kiki Corte, the Colts 9 for 13 yards, and it was 4th and 1 at the Colts 9-yard line. And then the Texans had a turnover on downs. Deshaun Watson's pass to DeAndre Hopkins was incomplete, and complete up short the middle, and the Colts got the ball back at their own 9. Andrew Luck's pass to short left to Zach Pascal, who took the ball to the Houston 41 for 6 yards, and it was 2nd and 4 at the Texans 41, and Andrew Luck's pass to short deep right to Eric Ebron was incomplete, and it was 3rd and 4 at the Texans 41, and Andrew Luck's pass again to short middle to Chester Rogers to the Texans 29 for 12 yards as the time expired in the first half, and the Colts led 21-0 at halftime, and things were just not going well for the Texans at all, and they had their work cut out, and it was a long game for them. And in the third, the Texans scored their only touchdown of the game. Deshaun Watson's pass to short left to Kiki Kelty for mispronouncing that, who ran the ball 6 yards into the end zone for the score, and it was 21-7 Colts lead at the end of the third. And in the fourth, the Colts had the ball at their own 25, made 6 plays and went 3 and out and had the punt. The Texans had the ball at their own 11. Deshaun Watson got sacked at the Colts 24 by Grover Stewart and Hassan Ridgeway for no yards. Then Watson had 2 passes fall incomplete, and it was 4th and 10 at the Colts 24. Deshaun Watson's pass to deep right to Vincent Smith also fell incomplete, and the Texans had their second turnover on downs, and the Colts got the ball back at their own 25, made 9 plays. Andrew Luck and the Colts took 3 kneels in the final 2 minutes, and the Colts win by a final of 21-7. The Colts move on in the playoffs, and for the Houston Texans, they wanted to move on, but their season comes to an end. And Andrew Luck, 19 carries and attempt, 19 for 32 carries and attempts, 222 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Marlon Mack, 24 carries, 148 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. And for the Texans, Deshaun Watson, 29 of 49 carries and attempts, 235 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Kiki Corte, 11 recoveries, 110 yards, 1 interceptions. And the Colts will move on to the divisional playoffs next week, and they will meet up with the top-seeded Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri, as I said, next week. We'll recap the NFC wildcard game between the Cowboys and Seahawks in just a sec, but it is now time for the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 AFC-NFC wildcard trivia question. Which of these players set a Chargers team record in 1981 with 5 receiving touchdowns in a single game? Charlie Joyner, Wes Chandler, John Jefferson, or Kellen Winslow. And if you said Kellen Winslow, you are correct. Winslow accomplished this amazing fate, in a 55-21 Chargers victory over the defending Super Bowl champion Oakland Raiders. Dan Fouts had 6 touchdown passes that day and also set a team record. I'll have another trivia question on my next broadcast, which will be on my regular broadcast tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. In the NFC wildcard game last night, the Dallas Cowboys beat the Seattle Seahawks. Last night, 24-22 at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The Cowboys were up 10-6 at halftime, and then they were up in the third. They were up. The Seahawks were up 17-14 at the end of the third, and in the fourth, the Seahawks had the ball at their own 25, made 3 plays for 4 yards, and went three and out and had the punt. The Cowboys had the ball at the Seattle 38 and made 2 plays for 27 yards. Then Dak Prescott's pass to deep right was intended for Nate Brown, was intercepted by KG Wright at the Seattle 0-yard line, and it was a touchback. And then the Seahawks had the ball at their own 20 and made 3 plays for for 20 yards and went 3 and out and had the punt. The Cowboys scored their 3rd touchdown of the game, and Dak Prescott's pass up the middle for 1 yard, and the Cowboys were up 24-14. The Seahawks scored their 2nd touchdown, and they were Russell Wilson a pass to J.D. McKissick for 7 yards, and there was hope, a little hope. There was hope for the Seahawks that they were down 24-22, and their 2-point conversion was good. And in the final 2 minutes, Dallas had the ball at their own 32, but Cole Beasley did not advance and didn't try to and was stopped for no gain. And Dallas, they in the final 2 minutes, they kneeled for the last 2 plays, and the clock would just run out. And the Cowboys get the win and over the Seattle Seahawks by the final up 24-22. The Dallas Cowboys will move on in the playoffs, and the Seattle Seahawks, their season comes to an end. So those were your games from last night, and I know the Ravens and I know Chargers are winding down, and I think it's still 23-10. That might be your final. I'm not sure. And I will have a post-game show for both the Ravens and the Ravens and Chargers after that game was concluded, and I will have one for the NFC wildcard after the card game after the Ravens, the Eagles and Bears game has concluded. And well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 NFC wildcard Sunday, AFC wildcard game update, and NFC wildcard game pregame show. And so until then, I'll be back with the postgame show for the Ravens game once that game is concluded, and for the Bears and Eagles game once that one's concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.